From a molecular perspective, aging is not simply the result of passing years, but of biological wear and tear, cellular fatigue, immune system decline, and cumulative genetic damage. Among the subtle yet powerful forces influencing this process is a molecule that is produced not primarily through food, but from our relationship with the sun: vitamin D. While it is often underestimated in public health discussions, vitamin D synthesis from sunlight is one of the most fundamental processes affecting long-term well-being. And yet, its production is highly dependent on geography, specifically on access to consistent ultraviolet B, UVB, radiation. Where we live may significantly influence how quickly our cells age. Humans evolved in sun-rich environments where daily UVB exposure triggered vitamin D production in the skin. Today, many people live at latitudes far from the equator, in regions where winter sunlight is too weak for months at a time to stimulate any meaningful vitamin D synthesis. For example, those living above the 37th parallel north, such as in much of Canada, Northern Europe, the UK, Russia, and parts of the northern United States, may go 4 to 6 months each year without sufficient UVB exposure to generate this essential nutrient. The connection between geographic sunlight exposure and telomere length begins to emerge when we consider what vitamin D actually does inside the body. Once synthesized or ingested, vitamin D is converted into its active form, calcitriol, which binds to receptors in the nuclei of nearly every cell in the body. There, it influences the expression of hundreds of genes, many of which are involved in DNA repair, inflammation control, antioxidant defense, and cellular growth regulation. All of these processes play a direct role in the maintenance of telomeres, the protective caps at the ends of chromosomes that naturally shorten with each cell division. These telomeres are a key biomarker of biological aging. When they become too short, cells lose their ability to divide or function properly, entering senescence or undergoing programmed cell death. Accelerated telomere shortening has been linked to a higher risk of chronic diseases including cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and several types of cancer. Vitamin D appears to slow this shortening by reducing oxidative stress and chronic inflammation, two of the main drivers of telomere attrition. In observational studies, individuals with higher blood levels of vitamin D tend to have longer telomeres, particularly in older adults. This suggests a direct relationship between vitamin D status and cellular aging. This is where geography becomes especially important. Studies comparing populations across different latitudes have consistently found that those living in regions with less sunlight tend to have lower serum vitamin D levels, especially in the winter months. In one large European study, people living in northern latitudes had significantly lower 25-OH-D concentrations compared to their southern counterparts, and also tended to exhibit shorter telomere lengths on average. These associations remain significant even after controlling for lifestyle factors like diet, smoking, or exercise. Moreover, lifestyle trends in modern urban societies only compound the problem. Even in sunny climates, people now spend most of their time indoors, wear sunblock year-round, and cover more of their skin. Add to that air pollution, common in many cities, which can block UVB rays, and the result is a silent epidemic of subclinical vitamin D deficiency, even in regions where the sun is abundant. For those living in northern climates, the situation is even more serious. The winter vitamin D desert, months when the sun is too low in the sky to provide UVB rays, can lead to chronically low vitamin D status unless supplemented by diet or oral intake. Without intervention, this may contribute over time to faster telomere shortening, greater DNA instability, and earlier onset of age-related decline. Importantly, this is not merely a cosmetic concern. Telomere shortening reflects real physiological stress and predicts higher risk of disease and mortality. In regions with limited sun exposure, the cost of ignoring this process may show up as higher rates of chronic inflammatory conditions, autoimmune disorders, neurodegeneration, and weakened immune defenses in aging populations. Fortunately, vitamin D status is modifiable. While natural sunlight remains the most efficient source, dietary intake through fatty fish, fortified dairy or plant milks, and cod liver oil can help. More consistently, oral vitamin D3 supplementation provides a safe and cost-effective way to restore optimal blood levels in people who live in low sunlight areas. For those at risk, Experts increasingly recommend daily doses of 1,000 to 2,000 IU during fall and winter months, or even year-round in extreme northern latitudes. Regular testing of 25 OH-D levels in the blood can help tailor this intake, aiming for optimal ranges between 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter, which may offer the best protection for genomic integrity and cellular health. In summary, geography and sun exposure are not merely environmental factors. They are biological determinants of how well we age. Living far from the equator increases the risk of vitamin D insufficiency, which in turn may accelerate telomere erosion and biological aging. Recognizing this connection allows for simple, actionable solutions through supplementation, lifestyle habits, and public health education that can help people age more gracefully and stay resilient at the cellular level, no matter where they live.